Tatlo.
Sige,
Jay!
Basta drop for me ka.
Siguro before.
Babe.
1, muna pa-adjust na lang.
3, go.
Good morning, everyone! We are the Group 7 Spice Girls.
Today, we are going to present a research study about
A narrative research among Lyceum students about skipping class gave questionable results.
skipping class has always been a big problem for schools around the world. Nowadays, a lot of students tend to skip their classes. In order to help with this problem, the researchers conducted a study on the reasons why Lyceum students often skip their classes.
Skipping class is the absence of a student in class without their parents knowing. The nature of skipping class for most students is usually...
Okay lang kung magsala dapat. Okay lang.
Sige na.
Okay lang sala. Tapos, doon. Hindi ako papansin. Game na.
Chess.
One.
Chess. Tapos na tayo. Gino.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, everyone! We are the Group 7 Spice Girls.
Today, we are going to present a research study about
A narrative research among Lyceum students about skipping class gave questionable results.
skipping class has always been a big problem for schools around the world. Nowadays, a lot of students tend to skip their classes. In order to help with this problem, the researchers conducted a study on what are the reasons why Lyceum students often skip their class.
Skipping class is the absence of a student in class without their parents knowing. The nature of skipping class for most students is usually based on the habit of the student, like going to the computer shop or going to malls during class hours that they usually do on a daily basis. Due to many situations of students that skip their classes, the researchers were prompted to do this investigation to know what the reasons are to skip class and to know if the students are aware of the possible consequences of their actions if they continue to skip their classes.
Many Lyceum students skip class at a daily rate. For students today, skipping class is just normal. According to studies, there are many reasons for students to skip class, and skipping their classes has affected their performance in school. This research study similarly provides information on why students continuously skip their classes.
This research study provides more information about why students skip class in order to help the faculty improve the attendance of the students. This output of this research study helps the students realize how their absences affects their school performance. This research study helps contribute to the advancement of science by knowing more information on what is happening in their minds when they skip class. This study is helpful for the community of LaSalle by helping preventing and lessen the students who skip their classes.
The grade 11 students of the school, many of those students tend to skip their classes occasionally, without knowing the consequences and causing it to affect their academic performance. The researchers of this study formulated some questions for the problem that is used interviewing the students in order to know the reasons for skipping class. The following questions are:
First, what are the reasons for Lyceum students to skip class? Second, where do students usually go when they skip class? Third, what are the consequences of continually skipping class? And lastly, what happens to their grades if they continue to skip class?
Our conceptual framework is students who skip class and grade 11 who skips class. Here are the reasons why they skip class: lack of interest in the subjects, clubs and sports activities, and tardiness. These are the effects of skipping class: low grades, no achievement, disappointment of parents. All of this has a result is results of skipping class.
The study focuses on 12 selected respondents of grade 11 students from Liceo de La Salle Senior High School who have frequent numbers of classes skipped. This study is done through an interview among the students on what their reasons are to why they skip class. This study contributes additional information about the reasons why students skip class.
This research study refrains to interview non-grade 11 students. It is limited to 12 selected respondents from Liceo de La Salle Senior High School. The selected respondents are knowingly students who skip their classes.
Significance of the study. The outcome of this study benefits the school administrator, that they may become more aware of the number of Liceo students who skip their classes. With the information from this study, it could provide them to have more control over their students.
This study also benefits the teachers in helping them be aware and take control over the problem of their students skipping class. This study also helps them keep their students in class by knowing on what are the reasons that they skip class and the reason that they come to class.
And mostly important is the results of this study benefits the students that through this way, they may realize the value of school and how skipping class affect their academic performances, as it is important to their future careers, and realize the consequence of their action if they continue to skip their class.
Review of related literature. Many faculty members from a variety of disciplines and universities complain about students' class attendance. Lack of class attendance can have multitude of consequences for both the faculty members and students. Faculty members may find themselves repeating information, discussions, or explanations numerous of times and in a variety of delivery formats. As a result, faculty members required students who miss information presented in class to get that information from classmates.
Many researchers investigated about why students skip class. Do attending classes has a relation on getting high grades? According to CT Stripping 2013, students tend to skip their classes for so many reasons.
Doing an assignment or project for other course, feeling bored in class, staying in bed because of flu, having a very active social life that they do not have stamina to go to class, and oversleeping. The same study also provides many solutions which should be done by teachers in order to solve the skipping class issue. For example, taking attendance during class and allowing the students to enter their class late.
The consequences of students not attending their classes are documented. There are a number of evidences that supports the positive correlation between class attendance and academic performance. Within college classes, students who miss class lose opportunities to interact with faculty members from whom they may seek counsel and assistance on their missed classes and activities.
Ethical considerations. The researchers will secure the identity of the interviewees by not showing their face and their personality. The researchers assures that the safety of the respondents, and by securing the identity of the respondents, the researchers potentially avoid stalkers or those secretly viewing the quiet activities of another to later stun them with knowledge akin to the respondents' thoughts.
The researcher skips the information safe by securing the location of the interview in a secluded area where no outsider other than the researchers and the respondent would be to hear the response of the respondent.
Research design. The research design that was used in this study was narrative research. Narrative research enables the researchers to explore the meanings of human action and phenomena constructed in the narratives. Narrative as a concept combines stories and narrations. In this study, the 12 selected students from grade 11 of the Liceo de La Salle Senior High School that frequently skip their classes was interviewed regarding their perception on the problem of what are the reasons students continually skip their classes.
So for the respondents of the study. In this study, the respondents, the 12 students from grade 11 of Liceo de La Salle Senior High School, were selected regarding if they skip their classes on a frequent basis. The researchers have identified the students that have skipped their class by personally asking them and by the information gathered by the researcher from mutual friends. The study was conducted at a time that is both convenient for the interviewee and the researcher at a secluded area wherein the identity of the respondent will be safe.
First, formulate guide questions. Second, analyze and break down the statement of the problem. Third, formulate questions to be asked. And fourth, ask questions to the respondent.
Data gathering procedure. The data gathering procedure started with the researchers formulating a series of interview questions to be asked to the respondents. After formulating the interview questions, the researcher reached out and selected 12 respondents from grade 11 students that were known to skip their respective class. Being done with selecting the respondents, the researcher will schedule a meeting, time, and place that is convenient for